We would like to greet you people in Singapore. You're on Economic Buzz, the English talk show program that outlook the economic issue for your business. You can also watch this program via live streaming on okzone.tv. We are still talking about business and investment strategy in 2013. We have Mr. Ariana Nur Akbar. He's from Research and Analysis Division of Monex Investindo Futures. Mas Ariana, it's very interesting. During the break, we continue our conversation about the best way in finding the correct decision in terms of making regulation, in regulating all of this. When we talk about the policies, seems like the global economic leaders simply wants to secure the national economic by regulating this and that. But as you said, in the very short term, and sometimes they sacrifice or put several factors at stake. Let's say in these terms like currency and inflation rate. Okay, let's continue about your view over this. A lot of things are being at stake or sacrificed, and it turns out becoming much a shorter period of time in securing the economy, but they don't think for the longer run of the economy itself.
Well, first time that they have seen it in short term first. It's like they are saving the country without seeing the longer term. So if it is best, they do the best in short term. Literally, they are saving their investment, their money, their fund first to get the economy lifted. Okay. After that, they will try to attract foreign investors to come in. They use the fund. They try to decrease, for example, unemployment rate could be, or maybe the pension, or maybe the cut of spendings. So if investors sees it, it makes sense that, okay, it will be best for them to invest in this kind of place, in this country, because it's showing the high return of the investment. So that in both sides, they have the win-win solution. One country has the advantage of getting lifted their economy. The other side get the return of the investment from the country.
What are the consequences that we as a nation must understand, or at least put into consideration, when we are experiencing the over capital inflow? Most of the business people here are a bit skeptical that when we are experiencing overflow of the capital inflow, it just merely happened for temporarily.
Well, the way I see it, I'm not worried about the overflow, because Indonesia, with a large population, more than 200 million people here, there was any opportunity we can get. The return of investment is very high. So in terms of overflow, again, okay, this is what we call diversification. We have to diverse our investment. Don't put, the eggs on one basket or something like that. If you have more money to invest, as you said, overflow, just make it spread. Okay, so
diversify.
Diversify, because when one time there is a slowdown or a falling down of, let's say, fund or investment, there must be something going up. It's like balancing the investment itself. So within the country, they have to have this kind of balance, regulations, policies that can pick up foreign investors, make it interesting, make it valuable.
Okay, you start talking about the foreign investors. When we talk about the foreign capital investment flow within the country, are we already reaching a reasonable percentage or standard, or we need to speeding up more in terms of attracting more capital, foreign capital inflow particularly?
It's a going process, and we can't expect it to be instantly growing. It's a growing process. It's gradually growing. So
do you find, sorry to interrupt you, do you find the growth is already reaching the ideal number or point so far?
Not yet.
Not even yet?
Not even yet. Not even yet. Because as we saw what Obama has done before, it's like he has put focus on the unemployment, because in some reason, by decreasing the unemployment rate, it shows that there will be much better future in the country. This leads to a better economic recovery. And that way, people will say, oh, this country is growing, maybe faster.
Can be used as the main indicator when we talk about this unemployment rate.
One of the indicator. One of the indicator. Instead of, maybe you can use the unemployment rate, you can use the FDI, foreign direct investment. But eventually, it will depend on how the government implement the policies.
Again, it's all about how to put it into practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if the government has the ability to balance this kind of situation by implementing the policies, that means I think the target is already done. What they have to do is sustain it or stable in growing, you know, the growing investment here.
Let's move back to Indonesia.
Okay.
What's been happening here when we talk about the global economic situation? We are, as one of the member of the global market here also.
Yes.
Global slowdown, as we all know, could possibly curb the demand, let's say, for commodities from our country when we talk about commodities. How do you see this when we talk about the change caused by the global economic slowdown that will affect the demand of the commodities from our country?
Okay, again, it depends on the policies of the government itself.
Indonesian government?
Indonesian government, in terms of government policies. But if you see these commodities, we have to divide it into two separate ways, two categories. Okay, for example, we have gold, we have silver, we have oil, we have natural gas, coals. So we have to divide this kind of commodities into two categories.
Yeah.
One is investment commodities, the other was industrial commodities. So this one should be suitable when the industrial commodity is suitable with the policies that implemented by the government itself. But for investment, it usually, during the market, the financial market, it usually comes from central bank statement, maybe, let's say a president of the states, but still it goes up with something that is worsening. For example, gold. If there is slowdown, okay, the falling of the economy, it shows that the demand of gold will go rise.
So many aspects could just trigger this and that to be happen. Mr. Ariana, we still have another segment to discuss about this after this one. So, more on the discussion about business and investment strategy in 2013 will be brought to you soon after this one. Stay with us on Economic Buzz.